Well, good morning, it's Adil Fazal here, market analyst at CFDs.com, bringing you a review of the European markets for Monday's trading, the 7th of November 2016. Please be sure to visit CFDs.com for your trading needs, and certainly download the latest app, which is at TradeSignal.com. Signals and market updates from leading providers. You can download the app at the Google Play and the Apple App Store. Okay, now in terms of markets this morning, certainly have pushed higher, impressive thrust. This morning on the back of obviously Hillary Clinton news regarding her shall we say vindication, okay, certainly being absolved of any wrongdoing, and that certainly has sent the dollar higher, which in turn has sent sterling and the euro lower, and then obviously that's sending the European equities higher today. Gold certainly pulling back as well, although copper certainly is moving higher impressively. Okay, so risk on sentiment certainly being embraced. In terms of news flow this morning, let's just look at the economic data. You have the BOJ minutes overnight, no real fireworks. Nikkei certainly ended lower. The USD JPY certainly got a lift from the Hillary news, and we'll see whether that can be sustained. USD JPY currently trading around the 114.5. The data this morning, German factory orders certainly failed to meet expectation, actually came in negative. So therefore, certainly triggered a risk aversion. Okay, you had UK house prices coming in potentially stronger. Again, that's certainly helping sterling potentially form a base and move higher. So that certainly is the two major news flow. Although there is one more from China in terms of their FX reserves suffering a drop. So the biggest drop since January. That certainly isn't good news. The last time we had that drop, we had the equity market certainly heading south and going south very, very fast. So certainly take that into consideration as well. You are looking at risk aversion there from Chinese FX reserves certainly dropping as well. Okay, now let's look at the technical picture, given the fact that we've certainly elaborated upon the fundamentals. Daily chart, German DAX certainly have an impressive short squeeze. You've had a pivot low of 10,200, 10,210, and now we've had a pivot high of 10,450. So very, very impressive thrust higher. 60-minute chart, you are approaching gap fill. Very hard from my understanding or my perspective for that gap to close. It's going to be very tough. I'm certainly not expecting that at all to close. Okay, so again, looking for this resistance above here to obviously remain open. You certainly have a gap that's left below now. Let's just certainly indicate the gap here, which is at 10,260. So certainly watch out for gap fill below on the German DAX. 10-minute chart certainly seems to be, from my perspective, overbought now. Okay, that certainly is overdue a potential pullback, and you are seeing resistance being held around the 10,450 level. So we certainly are above pivot R3 as well. So certainly overbought. Okay, and again, looking for a pullback. Okay. In terms of the French CAC, let's bring up the French CAC for you. Daily chart certainly is into gap fill, therefore indicating resistance. 60-minute chart, you certainly have horizontal resistance here, so therefore looking for a move lower. 10-minute chart, you have an unfilled gap that's been left below. You certainly have filled the gap above, and therefore looking for risk off. Okay, so again, looking for a potential move lower from my understanding and my perspective, if and when trading the actual French CAC. Now, this is a potential trade setup that I'm going to take. I'm looking for a potential short position and a weaker prices in the French CAC. FTSE 100 daily chart is an inside bar, although it has pushed above up to 6,800 to knock out a few stops. Certainly knocked my stop off, a stop at 6,799. Okay, so again, inside bar thus far. Article 50, the uncertainty, political decision. It certainly is a lot of concerns that are surrounding the actual FTSE 100, and you have sterling as well. Sterling is another factor. 60-minute chart, at the moment you are previous support equals resistance, so technically you are holding there. Okay, so bear that in mind. And a 10-minute chart, you are holding gap fill resistance as well, so certainly indicating risk off. Okay, now from my perspective, if we do make a move above 6,800 again, I'm certainly looking to short this index and looking for weaker prices. Okay, so the unfilled gap below at 6,690 remains the target on the downside if the market does start to flush. Alternatively, obviously you have resistance above, which is at 6,805, 6,820. Then you have in the 35 to 40 zone. So again, those are the resistance levels to watch out for. Okay, so in terms of the economic data or the next potential move for the markets, you have retail sales that have just come out from Europe, certainly on the weaker side. although investor confidence certainly came out on the stronger side. Okay, no more data really from the US. It's really going to be the actual reaction of US markets and how that will dictate. On that note, please be sure to visit CFDs.com for your trading need and certainly take advantage of the additional bonus. Goodbye.